welcome to our wrestling
perspective.
If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, give it a thumbs down. If you like the bar, give it to the side. Just kidding.
How did it take 3 times to get this right?
In the famous words of Hulk,
Sarcasm.
for this video, we'll be reviewing WWE TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs 2018. And to kick that all off, we saw on the pre-show, sadly, not sadly that they were there, just sadly that they were on the freaking pre-show. We saw for the Cruiserweight Championship, we saw former Cruiserweight Champion himself in Cedric Alexander up against the current Cruiserweight Champion, the best kept secret,
Buddy Murphy. Australia's own Buddy Murphy.
Exactly right. I gotta say, it's always a fantastic match when you put those two in a ring.
Yep. Buddy's been killing it every match he's had. 2 out of 5 Live's been killing it under Triple H's direction.
It's getting that build straight back up what it was meant to have.
In regards to just other previous encounters that 2 have, they've had plenty of us in the past that were a lot better. The Super Show match was better, but that's probably because, biased atmosphere for that.
Of course, yeah.
But this match actually, it did set the standard of this pay-per-view. It was the best match for a while.
And it was a good way to kick it off. And that's the way how it should be on TLC, but next time add it to the main card. What can we say much about the Cruiserweights? Give them more air, give them more space to breathe, I guess.
They're killing it.
Match 2 on the pre-show, we saw a guitar straight up in the air get hung in a ladder match between, let's give it to him, Lashley, up against, if you could please shut your mouth for a quick second, Elias.
We put up a complaint before about how Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander shouldn't have been on the pre-show. I'll make a new complaint. This match shouldn't have been on the card whatsoever. And especially give me a stipulation like a guitar and a ladder match. If you change it into a pole, you scream Vince Russo.
Okay, you had Leo Rush there, but how did Lashley lose in a lap?
It makes no sense. After that, you had a post-match beatdown. I don't know where this feud is going. I like heel Bobby Lashley. Elias, I liked him a lot more as a heel, but I can still say I'm still a fan of him as a face. Just kill this one off already.
Whenever I see it on TV, I'll give it my favourite pose. Kick off the actual main card with the 3rd match, but technically the 1st match, so we'll be going like that, because it's the main card. We saw in a Mixed Match Challenge final, it's for 2 spots in a Royal Rumble, but it's the last spots, and it's also a vacation wherever you want it to be, but only if it gets, what's it called, approved or something or other. Anyway, we saw R-Truth and Carmella in Fabulous Truth up against
Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal is
Mahalisha.
There we go. Mahalisha, yes.
Why was this on a main card?
That should have been pre-show. How are these 2 teams in the finals? Look, I love R-Truth's comedy, even the the dance break, with Carmella.
It's the first time I've done it.
Then you got Jinder and Alicia together. I'm not going to say that name.
They should stay there together permanently.
Mixed match challenge. It was just a train wreck. Everyone was getting injured. Some original teams weren't there anymore. So it's actually good to finally see this die off.
And finish it off, hopefully for a 3rd one somewhat in the future. But I wasn't much of a fan. I didn't really watch it in the first go. But it's good to see a Royal Rumble hype anyway.
It is, but look, with R-Truth being the 30th spot, you got to tell me there's a swerve there. Someone's attacking him, someone's taking him out, someone's taking that spot.
He's going to forget about the spot.
He'll go somewhere else. He wouldn't even notice a Royal Rumble on that day.
For the 2nd match of the main card for the WWE TLC 2018, we saw for the Smackdown Live Tag Team Championships, we saw the New Day in Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston up against Jimmy and Jay, the Uso brothers, up against The Bar in Sheamus and Cesaro. They always pull off something brilliant. Smackdown Tag Team Division.
It's nothing like their Raw counterpart.
Nothing like it. Raw's too good. No, just kidding. I don't know what they're doing with Raw and what happened with Raw, but SmackDown is killing it. They are the proper tag team.
The Bar, New Day, Usos, they have just plenty of chemistry.
I'm just waiting until Sanity gets added to the mix, because the minute Bar gets out of that situation, which they did overcome and retain their belts.
Which I love, because
Sanity's coming up.
Because he copped the pin.
I'm not mentioning who got the pin, right?
Xavier Woods is the weak link of the New Day.
He's not the weak link. He's the strongest. In match 4, we saw Baron Corbin get murdered. Now, we saw Baron Corbin lose to Braun Strowman,
It was supposed to be a
Heath
TLC
Slater,
match.
Glorious Gable,
Apollo
Finn
Crews.
Balor. I think that's all of them now, isn't it?
That's all of them. It was
No,
supposed
no,
to
no,
be.
and Kurt Angle, sorry. Yes, he came out.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there.
I can't remember if he was there.
No, because he was walking
That's
back
right,
from the ramp
yeah,
and he
yeah,
came
sorry,
out.
sorry,
He was like,
sorry,
where's my
sorry.
son?
Yeah, I think it's still on the shelf. Yeah, look, it was supposed to be a match where if Baron Corbin won, he would become the Raw General Manager, whereas if Braun Strowman would have won, he would have got a title shot against Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble.
Braun Strowman comes out with the injured arm. He's like, listen, mate, I can't fight. Look at this. It's a boo-boo. Can't get this done. And so he calls upon the whole Raw roster, and he can't fight Baron Corbin like a man.
Nah, none of that. I think that was the only match where I've actually seen, well, one opponent didn't even touch the other person but got the win regardless.
Yeah, he didn't touch him once. In this match, we saw a tables match. It was a very heated feud between the Neidhart, Natalia Neidhart, up against the leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot herself. I was very surprised that none of the other members even attempted to do something shifty to even manage to
I think
complicate
they
it.
got barred from ringside in that regard.
Or like something like Visionette or something, you know?
I don't know. It's just that it's usually the matches that you don't really want to see on a pay-per-view that actually deliver. Match was good. I think it was pretty obvious that Natalya was going to win considering the type of storyline they're going through.
The printed sticker of Ruby was a nice
That
touch.
was a nice touch, but still, the storyline just went real south. There was no need to bring up the whole, dad storyline.
And if you ever need to put someone through a table, put Jim Neidhart's jacket on.
Yeah, you just won't lose the
You
match.
just won't lose. Like, why didn't she put it on from the get-go?
Why doesn't she just leave it in?
That's it. And hopefully she can get stuff done in the Raw women's title scene after this whole feud, because Natalya needed that win. It was good to see that win, and so far we've only seen 2 of the Riot Squad go through a table. Sarah Logan still need to go through one.
Don't put it for a table.
In this match, we saw another heated rivalry, but it was a chairs stipulation. It was a chairs match between the Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio.
Which I have to just say, you're a big fan of Rey Mysterio, aren't you? Especially
I
his
do not
mask,
like his attire.
tights.
I can't get behind the person that wears an attire like that. Come on. No.
It actually looks like that Rey. He looks like he wears a mad nappy.
You know what it looks like? You know those little things that you can hang from your car, from the window, and it has like the tassels and all that.
I was gonna say bobblehead, but you threw me off a bit. But
I
yeah,
don't know, but you know, like how it has. I don't know. Anyway,
car ornaments. Okay, done.
car. He looks like a car ornament. And then the Viper Randy Orton, he polished him off. He finished him like the Viper does, sadistic, and completely annihilated him with chairs.
But he didn't win the match.
He didn't win
Mysterio
the match. That's
got that
what
shock
got me
victory.
very irritated.
The Rey Mysterio, though, he was an MVP of the match. When he slid with the chair from the inside to the outside of the ring, when he actually went to go land on Randy, but then he copped the chair in the annals. It was good.
It was very dirty, but it had to happen.
So usually when you see something like a chairs match, this was another complaint I had when it was Sin Cara against, was it Baron Corbin?
Yes, it was.
And I'm thinking a chairs match. Why in God's name do I want to see a chairs match?
it was Kalisto up against...
Kalisto, sorry,
It was Kalisto
yes,
up against
Kalisto,
Baron
my bad.
Corbin in a chairs match.
And
So it didn't have that anticipation. But even though they did have story built to him. But
that match was good. This match was surprisingly good. Considering that Mysterio won, this feud will probably continue, maybe finishing just before Royal Rumble. Yeah, because they're built to go towards it.
How about just put Jeff and Ray in a tag team?
You would sell merch.
The charismatic lucha. In this match, we saw the Raw Women's Championship on the line. We saw the face breaker in Nia Jax bringing her friend Tamina Snukas with her by the ring up against the defending champion herself in Ronda Rousey, the rowdy one. She annihilated her. It had to happen. I won't comment any more on this. No, I'm happy Ronda won. Let's move it on. Hopefully we get Becky versus Ronda.
But the real highlight, it wasn't just seeing Nia tap him. It was after the match where Becky actually attacked her backstage and told
Keep your name out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah. In this match, we saw the rematch for the WWE Championship. We saw the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, going up against the new Daniel Bryan,
Fickle.
the new WWE Champion,
Fickle.
the new man that chases his dreams.
Fickle.
We had to fit that in. It's entertaining as hell, that's all I gotta say.
Look, a part of me is still upset that AJ, he lost the belt, but then at the same time his run was getting a bit stale. Probably because, he versed, Samoa Joe 5 times. Maybe because he versed Shinsuke Nakamura about 3 to 4 times.
Exactly.
The run itself, look, it wasn't AJ's fault, it was just bad booking, but Daniel Bryan as a heel...
It was repetitive booking, and the only issue is you put him so low on the card that it kind of devalues his match.
Which unfortunately was low again.
Even though he was a dominant WWE champion. But hopefully we see Daniel Bryan go feud with more sadistic type ways. It would be fantastic.
After the match, he did say that he wants to change up the belt design. He actually said he wants to get rid of the leather strap. I'm loving this new Daniel Bryan.
Let's see what's going on. In the semi-main event, probably the most heated rivalry building up, we saw the grudge match. We saw for the Intercontinental Championship. 2 former brethren, 2 former Shield members, 2 former best friends up against each other. We saw the lunatic fringe recently turned even more lunatic in Dean Ambrose up against the champion. He likes to burn it down, but he's an architect.
Still can't make sense of it.
Seth Rollins. The match was okay. It was really disappointing in a way.
It dragged on for way too long.
It dragged on a lot.
24 minutes.
And you have them a lot on the ground when they should have been just bashing the living crap out of each other.
It should have just been a brawl. It didn't have to be a wrestling classic. It was just supposed to be pure
even if it was like
match.
this, at least have a pure carnage for at least, 10 minutes of pure carnage.
Yeah, but unfortunately, as soon as Dean got back on the mic towards the build, it was starting to go downhill. Instead, he put a gas mask on, saying that, all these people, you people smell. He just went into the coward bullshit heel, which he should have went more the lunatic route with that. So far, it looks like it's already lost a lot of momentum. Hopefully, when Seth gets his rematch, they pick up a bit more. But that was the biggest shock of the night. Biggest shock.
What can I say? Hopefully, we move on from this. And Dean Ambrose picking up the win.
It's nice to see Dean with the belt.
For the main event of WWE presents Tables, Ladders, Chairs, TLC 2018, we saw the Smackdown Live Women's Championship on the line, but it was hung up in the air as it was a Tables and Ladders and Chairs match.
First ever.
For the women.
First ever.
We saw Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, up against the Second Nature in Charlotte Flair. Nice. Up against the Straight Fire, the man, the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Yes, this match was fantastic.
Hands down best match of the night.
Even when Ronda came out and screwed Charlotte and Becky.
That hurt.
It still was fantastic seeing Asuka finally get her chance and grab that gold. I nearly teared up for the Empress.
Do you actually believe it's a bit too late though?
No way do I think
Asuka was hurt a lot, not because of Charlotte.
Becky does not need the title right now. Look at her, she's the man. She's going to do anything and get over right now.
Look, I'll put another prediction out there. Considering that Becky's lost the belt and Rumble season's coming, Becky to win the Rumble, to go to Raw, to face Ronda, Charlotte to stay on SmackDown, potentially Charlotte against Asuka in a rematch, where this time Asuka would be the champion going in.
Who goes over and retains. See, it can all build up.
Full circle.
Full circle again, we see Becky and Ronda, but I think Ronda might retain with a bit of dirty tricks from the 4 horsewomen. Shayna, where you at? Overall, for WWE presents Tables, Ladders, Chairs, TLC 2018. It was good for what it was, I guess.
Every match on the card besides the Intercontinental match was decent or beyond decent. I don't know, it just hurts a lot to see 11 matches.
The card placement really hurt it.
Well, when you put the WWE Championship towards, not the bottom, but not near the main event, that kind of hurts.
Mixed match challenge.
That should have been pre-show. Cruiserweight should have been swapped for it. You could have put Natalya against Ruby Riott over
Because it
down
would have
there.
made so much sense. Instead of streaming so much of the pay-per-view for free, you could have the mixed match challenge on a pre-show that already gets
Pretty much.
shown for free with the
Pretty
mixed
much.
match challenge that already gets advertised on Facebook so people can see it on YouTube.
You would, yeah.
But that talks too much sense.
You would also think that if 2 Hour Live is strictly on the WWE Network, you would put it on the main card just to get more viewers to actually tune in. But
Exactly.
Still,
They're
it's
not
still
going to
on the pre-show.
understand it on a pre-show. They're like, I have to pay $10 to see it normally. Now you're going to show me it for free when the story comes? Are you normal? Who's this guy with the purple thing?
But look, I actually do agree that the women actually got the main event slots in the first ever TLC match. Was it the first ever time the women's, SmackDown women's, was the main event?
I think it might have been.
Because
Well, there
the
could have
Raw
been a
women's...
champion versus champion situation.
Because the Raw
Not too
women's
sure
has
about
been
it.
main event. It has been of the Hell in a Cell. And even on Raw they've done
But
it.
this is the thing. For it to be a main event, it had to have Ronda in it. And look, she was in it. But what can we say for TLC overall?
If Roman can't be in it.
Chuck her in. She has R in her name.
Good. We have things to look forward to. Vince is going to be on Raw to shake things up. I was actually assuming it would be, a WWE shake-up, like another, swap of the rosters again. But, we'll have to wait and see.
What if he just comes out and announces another era?
But there is something to look forward to. This is the last pay-per-view of the year for WWE, which means we are up to Royal Rumble. The build-up to Royal Rumble. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
And in future videos, we're going to be doing a lot more WWE stuff, a lot more New Japan stuff, a lot more Ring of Honor stuff. Stay tuned. We might be showing a bit more original stuff. We'd like to see you watch it more. Thank you for watching. As always, give it a like, share, subscribe.